What's up, everybody? This is FD. This is JP.
What's up? How's everybody doing out there?
Yeah, what is going on? And I know we don't have any people in here yet, but when we do, we'll start talking about MLK Day first. JP, what do you think?
Hey, man, look, this is a special day for me. I'm
Very
excited.
special. Yeah.
Excited. We're talking about a man that moved this generation forward.
Yes.
A lot of
Yes.
progress with a lot of people. What are your thoughts on MLK Day? What do you
Well,
think?
it's good. I've been to DC. I've stood in front of the statue and took pictures. Um, Started learning about the man early in life. I talked to
Yes, sir.
a friend today, Demetrius. JP, you know Demetrius.
Yes,
And
sir.
he was spending this morning listening to several different speeches. And just so
Okay.
you know, I don't know if you know this or not, but Demetrius now, when we were young, we used to remember speeches word for word and recite them back and forth to each other on the telephone. I don't know if you knew that. Yeah, we used to get deep with it. But it's been a special
Yes,
day.
sir.
I spent time with my family. It's been a real cool day to be able to spend time and talk to my kids a little bit about who he was as an individual and what he was doing. So,
Yes, sir.
JP, how did you celebrate or spend the day?
Actually, I spent the day at work. Of course,
Okay, okay,
we all know that. But usually, what I do to celebrate King's birthday, man, is I usually try to go, like you said, find a speech and kind of listen to reflect on the message and seeing where he was at his time and where our generation is at this particular time in 2022. A
hmm
lot of progress has been made, but we still have some progress to go. So, yeah.
yep, yep, true. Well, today we have a great guest on the show, someone
Yes,
that
sir.
I have gotten to know over time. A great mind on sports, a great dialogue can get. And what I like about conversations is that we could disagree on stuff, but I'm always interested in the logic behind how someone came to a certain decision. And when we
Yes.
talk about stuff, she breaks it down on what her feelings are on different things, and I love that. So we want to invite Love What You Collect onto the show, and I'm gonna bring her in right now. Erica,
Hey,
Love What You Collect. How you
Hey,
doing?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you guys doing?
I'm
I'm
doing
doing all
well.
right. E.
Doing well. It's good to have you here. Now, I'm gonna jump into something here because whenever I'm talking to someone and they have something behind them, like I got rolling with FD right here. That's boring,
Yeah.
right? What do you have? And JP has his, so everybody knows, has his cousin on Patton that played for the Patriots on his
Mhm.
backdrop. But Erica, walk us through who you have behind you.
I collect art. I'm a collector of all things, but I love art. So I do have Lauryn Hill, Nas, Jill Scott behind me, and a couple other pieces that's not anybody in particular. But I also have not behind me by the Spike Lee piece of "Do the Right Thing" of
Okay.
Radio Raheem. I have a Sade
Mhm.
piece. I have artwork of like Paris and different things like that.
Okay, I know I
Okay.
saw that Jill Scott back there. I had to
Yes,
ask
Yeah.
about that.
yes, yes. I
Yeah.
that's one of my favorite pieces.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I
the
see.
card deal said here, JP, that you're still locked in TV Super Bowl, huh?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
For sure. Who
and you
gonna
should
stop
be,
us?
right? You should
Yeah,
be.
who gonna stop us?
All right. Yeah, I just came from Flipping Steve's live. We had a good dialogue over there. Had a lot of good people on.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and Josh
Hey,
Strand says
E.
what's up from Australia.
I got a question for you.
Go ahead, Eric.
How did you spend your MLK day?
I watched the Purdue Illinois game and went to double OT. I'm a big fan of Javen Ivey. I love his game, so I try to watch all his games that come on. Um, and then I watched a couple of the NBA games, and then what else? I was watching something else, but I just kind of chill and just watch TV and just
Yeah.
relax. That's what I did today.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's what's
a
up.
stress-free day.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Yes. Hmm.
So, Erica, walk people through how you started collecting. What were your influences when it came to collecting, and just take us through your journey as far as a collector, because we all have a story. JP has a story. I have a story. Everybody that's here throwing comments in has a story. But just walk people through who may not know you, or if those who do, you may be able to shed some light on some things that they may not know.
Okay.
The floor is yours.
So first off, I'm born and raised in Philadelphia. So it's a big sports town. I first got to collecting, I might have been around 8, 9 years old. My aunt, she collected cards, basketball cards primarily. So I collected with her. We would open packs. She was big into trying to organize in team sets and different things like that. So we really bonded over that, and I really enjoyed that. We would go to LCSs, which those aren't around anymore, but we used to have them kind of like corner stores. We had corner card stores around here and there. You get to spot them out, but we were really heavy into it. So I did that for probably up until around age 12, 13. And then she did pass away. And then I stopped collecting. And
sorry to hear that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So I stopped collecting around then, and then I started to, work and stuff like that. So gears changed, I didn't have extra money to spend on cards because I had to pay for other things. But as time went around, I still kept up with cards in terms of I like this card, but I never really purchased any throughout high school or college or even after college. But the reason I got back into the card is because my daughter, her name is Natiri, she's 6 years old now. She plays tennis, and I had a Naomi Osaka card that I don't even know how I got this card, but I guess I got it in college years. So I had this card. I said, hey Tiri, I think this would be cool to put in your gym bag, maybe just give you something to look at while you taking a water break or whatever. And then the card was beat up. So I was like, maybe I should get another copy, So she gave 2 copies, and then I went online and saw it selling for a lot of money just for a Sports Illustrated card.
Going up. Yeah.
It started going up. So then I started to think, I'm like, what's going on with the card market? And then that's when I got into the rabbit hole of getting back into it. And I got back into it pretty heavy. And just collecting pieces, just like I have the artwork behind me. I've used sports cards or cards in general as pieces of art that just fit in the palm of my hand. So that's just kind of a backdrop of.
I like that.
I
like that a lot. They are pieces of art that fits in the palm of our hands. Even if you go old school vintage up to now, each card kind of tells a story of how it was designed and what technology went into it, and these companies are trying to do more and more to make sure their cards are not counterfeited. So that's great stuff. I want to say thanks to Jeff McMahon, new to the channel. Thank you very much for being here. I appreciate that. So, what's the last card show, Erica, that you've been to?
That's a great question. It probably was the Philly Card Show. Was the last one in December.
That was recent. Okay.
Yeah, it was the first weekend in December. It was at my birthday is December 3rd, so I went.
Happy belated. We didn't know that. 12/3, huh?
Thank you. So I went to that. The Philly Card Show it's not actually in Philly. It's about 20 to 30 minutes outside of Philly in King of Prussia, but it's at a casino. I think it's at a great location. I really like that show. Very good vibes. There's a nice, decent selection, and it's also heavy on vintage, which I think is very important.
Yes.
So that was the last card show I went to. Also went to the trade night. That was really cool as well. So.
Okay. So you said your daughter was into cards collecting now. Does she has any favorites that are in her collection?
She probably would say Serena. She's a big Serena fan. She loves watching Serena play. Also Venus, Coco, Sloane Stevens. So her tennis cards are probably her favorites. She also likes the New York Liberty, the WNBA team as well. So she has a lot of fun with that. She's also she likes Pokemon. She's just getting into MetaZoo. So she just I'm just letting her spread her wings in terms of what she likes in general. Right. But it also too, she also likes basketball cards and football cards, but she likes the shiny cards. So she loves shiny. Color and shiny.
Yeah. That's pretty cool though.
So does she collect cards now? Is she concerned about, because as a kid, I went through
Mhm.
portions where I was not. Is she concerned about the condition of the card, or is it a card that she likes and she wants to have it with her, or do a touch or do stuff with?
She is for a 6-year-old. She is concerned about the condition of the card. When we open packs, she opens packs. If she's unsure, she'd be like, "Mom, can you help me open it?" Or she's very careful with the cards. We gave a couple cards to another young person, and my daughter came back and was like, "Oh, I seen that they put the card on the floor. I couldn't believe it." So I was like, for her awareness and her care and passion for the cards. Just to keeping it up, like just like I have the artwork hanging on the wall, like she sees that and she respects that and she values that. So it just kind of translated over into the cards. So for her at her age, she's very careful. She's actually watching a couple kids rip online and she kept asking, "Hey, they keep throwing the cards around," or I said, "Yeah, just don't do that. You do what you do."
Right.
She's
Right.
learning all that from you. She's gonna
Oh,
think
thank you.
back. Yeah, just like with my father and JP has had influences. When you look back, you think about conversations that you've had or you're going to have, and the time spent. That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
By
Yes.
far. All right, so we got a comment here, Mr. Timothy. What up, Debo Samuel rookie card select auto sticker patch out of 49 eBay auction in an hour. Not my card. So okay, so you're letting us know that that's out there. Okay. All
Okay.
right. I think a lot of Debo Samuel. I just learned the other day, JP and Erica, how he got the name Debo. Do y'all know this?
No, but let me take
No.
a guess.
Go ahead. Go. You see, you already know.
My
Go ahead.
guess is his mom's favorite movie was Friday.
Yeah. Well, somebody's favorite movie was because
Okay,
he got named after Debo. That's
Debo.
his name.
that's what I figured.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's very cool to me.
Yeah, that
Very
is.
cool. All
Yes,
right.
it is.
So what, JP? Do you have some other questions you want to jump into?
Yeah, actually I do. So I just seen that someone had said that the Rams had won. Uh,
Yeah, the Rams won, man. The Arizona, or if they haven't won, they're going to win.
Mhm.
Arizona did not show up tonight at all.
oh, okay.
I predicted Arizona to win. I will admit, completely wrong. Kyler Murray had not a good game. So
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I was just wondering who we about to match up against, you know. Oh, so
now when you
E,
say we, let everybody know who you're talking about when you say we.
Tampa Bay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm speaking of. So E, I got a question for you. Uh, growing up, who was your favorite player, and why did you collect that? Their cards.
Grant Hill growing up was my favorite player, hands down. I watched him when he was at Duke, and ever since then when he went to the Pistons, I just loved his game because it was a complete game. Like, and he was
Yeah,
just smooth and finesse and just confident and high IQ guy, great everything. He checks the boxes for like literally everything. But
yeah.
so he was my favorite player growing up. I even had the Grant Hill jersey, and then you reverse it, and there's Michael Jordan on the other side growing up. So I used to rock that all the time. So I used to switch it up like that.
Ooh, wow.
First of all, yeah.
Well,
So
you
Okay.
still got that jersey, E?
no, I don't. A lot of stuff. That's the thing. A lot of like sneakers and jerseys and stuff, and even some cards and stuff. I just don't have it. Just
Oh
don't have
wow,
it. Yeah.
wow.
That's a jersey I wish I had because they don't even make those anymore.
Yeah, that's a classic.
Yeah.
Grant on one side and then Mike on the other. Oh
Yep.
man.
Yeah, that
Yep.
brings back some memories right there.
Yeah,
Just think
yeah.
if Grant Hill would not have gotten hurt and fully developed his game, like fully developed his jump shot, he would have been just a phenomenal player.
I
Well, I
agree.
think he was. I think he was a phenomenal player. When you look at his game, like E said, I think he did have a complete game. I mean, he was very sound on both ends of the court. You would never say
True,
Grant Hill is
true,
taking plays off.
true.
You know,
Mhm.
not running through the offense, his team's offense. The dude, like she said, checked every box of the game, and if it wasn't for sustaining injuries that he suffered, no telling where his career could have been at. So yeah, oh
He's
yeah,
a great commentator because he understands the game.
oh
The way he
yes,
Yeah,
commentates the game is on a whole nother level.
yes indeed, yes
I
Whole
agree.
nother.
indeed. He does X's and O's.
All right, so Erica, what let me ask you this question. As you go out now in 2022, what are some goals that you have for what you want to collect or what you're looking for?
That's a great question.
I try to come with
Um,
them now. I try to.
that's a great question.
Right.
I I would like to add to my collection a vintage Wilt Chamberlain card.
Oh, come
Great.
with it, E. E, come
Yep,
with it.
yep.
That's a great card.
That is going to happen. I said I'm gonna make it happen, and I've been eyeing some, but I have to really dig in and figure out which card I want to get. I probably will get it in a SGC slab because I just like the way they look for the vintage, and then
That's a
that way
great
I know,
slab. That's
you
a
know what I
great
mean.
slab. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's I think I'm going with that route. Also, I'm gonna get me a Sanchow Page card if I'm pronouncing his name correctly. He's
Oh,
also
Satchel Paige.
yes,
Satchel
he is.
Paige.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Ooh,
I was at the
I'm
National this year, and I saw two Satchel Pages cards, and I'm standing there like, should I invest in this right now or wait to? Because my mind goes out sometimes. Like, should I
mhm.
wait to the beginning of 2022 to start? That's a great investment. I mean,
Yeah.
beautiful
Yeah.
card too.
yeah.
I'm I'm I- I'm very grateful for what our brothers did and playing in the Negro leagues, and I just was
Oh
like,
yeah.
I need to start. Like I have some cards, but it's not like actual their cards. It's like artist cards of Negro leagues,
Yeah.
and I have clothes, books. But I was like, I actually want to add something to my card collection, so I was just going to kind of dive in that way. But yeah, those are the two cards that I will be adding to my collection this year.
Man, I'm telling you, come with the heat tonight. I gotta start looking in the mirror, looking over my shoulder.
Yeah,
Like,
she's
man,
telling you,
he
man.
coming with it tonight.
She doesn't
Yep.
play.
Yeah.
She does not play. I saw a question here I wanted to. Grant Hill is in the Hall. Yes, he is. He is in the Hall
Yes.
Yes.
of Fame. And I'm not saying he's not a Hall of Famer. That's not what I'm saying. But his knee injuries really affected his game, especially when he got to Phoenix. That
Mhm.
stuff
Yeah.
really affected his game. So I always wish I saw the Grant Hill that didn't go through those physical issues. And I'm just speaking to what we could have seen. But do I respect his game? And yes, I do. I mean,
Yeah.
JP and
Oh
I go
yeah.
way back talking about Grant Hill, and he's
Oh
probably
yeah.
my only favorite player, maybe him and Tatum from Duke.
Yeah.
I'll just keep it real.
Yeah.
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 Keep it real.
He's one of my favorite, and also Johnny Dawkins is one of my favorite.
Yeah, you like Johnny Dawkins. Yeah, Johnny Dawkins was solid. He was
Yeah.
solid.
Yeah.
He was solid.
Yeah, baby.
You saw the David Patton comment, right? I want to make sure you saw that.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
DJ Lazy Jeff. Hey man, I appreciate it, man. I really appreciate it. Yeah, 3 Super Bowl rings, caught stuff from Tom Brady. I heard a lot of stories, so I appreciate
Big
it, brother.
loss. Big loss for David Patton passing.
Yeah,
Big
yeah, it
loss.
was.
You talking about probably one of Tom Brady's first dependable receivers
Mm.
that he could go to all the time early in his career was Patton. And if people don't know who Patton is, watch the Brady documentary or just hit YouTube and check out some of his highlights. Serious
Yes,
player.
sir.
Let's see what. So LeBron James. I'm going to talk about Lakers just for a little bit here. Just a little bit. I promise you, I will not be on this for long. But LeBron James, and I posted this to Instagram today. Back in August, he said, I want everybody that's talking about my teammates, how old we are. We can't play. We're good on paper, but not in reality. I want you to keep that same energy later in the season when we get better. Then LeBron came out, I think, a couple of days ago and tweeted, want to let the Laker Nation know that we will get better. So that's a totally different stance. I think he's starting to understand his team is where it is. I just wonder, do you all think the Lakers are going to go through some personnel changes where they're going to get some people off that team and try to get some other people on the team? Because we know LeBron historically will try to overhaul a roster midseason.
Come on. Hey, we already seen that happen in Cleveland. Did we or did we not see that in Cleveland?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
and you got to look at it too. When he went back to Cleveland, now he did it twice. You got to think.
And he did with the Lakers when he sent everybody to the Pelicans.
Yeah. Okay, so that's 3 times then. He did it when he was in Cleveland, right? Not only that, he brought players from when he played for the Miami Heat over to Cleveland, right?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't like how some of them was playing, got them out of town, and now is doing it with the Lakers. So, I mean, this is a repeat pattern of what we're seeing from this guy. This dude here, and I don't, I'm going to call him that guy because that's what I call him. This dude puts teams together to win championships.
Yeah.
We all know who this guy is. If it wasn't for certain people he recruited, and he recruits these people, let's not act like we don't know what's behind the curtain. We know that this guy recruits people to help him to win championships.
And I think he's about to, something's probably going to change. And I know Erica loves Westbrook. We talked about that a lot.
I do.
No, she does. And I'm not going to disrespect. I'm not going to.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I like people that somebody may look at. I talk about James Wiseman all the time.
Yes, he does.
He hasn't played in the NBA in a long time. So somebody could say, well, hey, you like James Wiseman. What's up with that?
Yeah.
So I respect it. But it's going to be interesting to see just what the Lakers do. Right now, they're number 8 seed in the East as we speak. It'll be interesting over time to see.
So E, what is your take on that? What do you think the Lakers are gonna do this season, and how do you see them getting better if it's,
It to me it's just it's really one issue. It's AD. He has to turn on the light switch. Once he turns on the light switch, they can win it all again. Like, or at least get to the finals or conference finals. Like, AD is LeBron and West. Everybody's kind of they need to play better, of course, yes. But the spotlight's on them right now because they're playing and they're not doing as well as he should be. But AD is on the sideline, he's hurt or whatever the case may be. But there's no reason in the world why he should not be top 5 players in the world. Like, with his skill set and him being in his prime.
So let me ask you this, Erica: has he ever turned on the light switch? Did you ever see AD's light switch?
It's like a on and off switch with him. Sometimes he turns it on, sometimes he turns it off. It's like, even when they made the championship run, he turned it on. And you're like, okay. Then you're like, why he don't play like that all the time? I remember a few years back when I went to the Sixers game and he was with the Pelicans and him and Boogie was balling. And I'm like,
ooh, they were balling. That was a tandem. That was a tandem.
Yes. I was just like, wow. I was like, if they had guards with them, they can make a run. Like, oh my, he was on. So I seen him live be on, and and I'm a fan of his game. I am. But I just think he has to have some type of light under him to really get him going. But I think that's the I think that's the issue. But maybe on the flip side, if asking me it changes, I would like Russ to stay with the Lakers and for him to try to win a championship with his hometown. But if a trade needs to be made, I would love to see Russ come play with the Sixers and Ben Simmons can go to the Lakers, because I really think Russ would flourish with Joel here with the Sixers, and the Sixers need somebody who's going to go hard all game long and like light fires under his teammates and like be unstoppable, because the Sixers are just kind of just playing like, okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you're saying light switch, right? I asked you that question to get your opinion, because I've seen AD turn it on in a game in like the second half or the second quarter and score 13, 15 points in one quarter. I've seen him do that.
Yeah.
And I know LeBron, even when they were in the bubble, you would see LeBron talk to him on the sidelines to try to amp him up Like, hey man, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go do this. Get your first ring. I told you I was gonna get you a ring. You can hear this through the microphones. I told you I was gonna get you your first ring. We gotta go do this. Then you would
Yeah,
see AD kind of pick up.
but let's also look at when they got this championship. This was in the bubble, one,
Mhm.
and for two, it was a very short season.
Yeah.
I think it was what, like maybe 30 games at most,
Yeah.
or maybe between 30. Let's say between 30 and 50 games at
I think it was
most.
like a 50-game season, close to
Maybe
50.
50. Yeah, closer to 50.
Yeah. So you got to think in that short span of time, you can make those type of runs. But if you
True.
ask, let me ask this one question. Have you ever seen AD play a full season without being hurt?
You
No.
never
No.
No.
You know, yeah. Sometimes that's the luck of the draw too. You know, but yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I agree.
but E, look at it from this standpoint. All of this technology, all of this nutrition, all of this stuff that you have to
Yep.
keep your body in tip-top shape. You got some of the best trainers in the world, best surgeons in the world. Why is this guy? The question needs to be, why is this guy always hurt? That's the thing we got to look at. Why is this dude always hurt? And then if that other guy, now the other guy said that he was the GOAT, right? FD and E.
Yeah. Yeah. You
Yeah.
say he's the greatest of all time.
So if he is the GOAT, why can't he carry this team that he's put together to a championship? Answer me that question. Somebody answer me that question.
As he sips water after that. Somebody answer that question.
That's totally fair. Like that's very good points. I think right now where the NBA is so many teams that are kind of even, you know, and I think that kind of hurts him because day in and out, he could play against the Grizzlies and lose. He could play against the Nets or the Sixers and lose. Like before, it wasn't like that. You know, you can. So I think that kind of hurts a little bit for the Lakers situation, but you got good points, very good points.
Go ahead,
So
FD.
Erica kicked off some things here in the comments, like we're talking about vintage cars
Oh,
and buying
okay.
vintage. Matt, very good point. Flea market mixtape. FDI wasn't as sharp as a voice, so once that was anymore. Okay, I understand that. We got people talking about Terry Glenn is underrated. Yes, he is.
Yes.
He was something else from Ohio State on. Another
Yes.
person that passed away too early. Great player. Great player. We got people talking about Love Will Chamberlain, Lou Alcindor, Hayes.
Hayes. Yes.
People sleep on Hayes and who he was in the NBA as a big man.
Yes, they do.
You know, we got a person here talking about Mr. Timothy comes back. Too bad. Oscar Rosillos weren't recording Oscar Robertson times. According to my research, he's the only player that averaged 20 plus points, 10 plus assists, 2 plus steals for 4 straight years. And Eric, on this show in the past, we've talked about top 25 of all time in the NBA.
Yes.
And in my humble opinion, Oscar Robertson is number 2 on my list.
Okay.
I just think he was a great player. Great player.
Mr. Triple Double.
Anna Marie Farrell said Erica is the best.
Thank you.
I agree with that as well.
Yes.
Yeah, but you know, it's some flea market said you got some support here, Erica. Russ still putting up numbers.
Yes, he is.
Some of those numbers in the turnover column, but he's still putting up numbers. You know I gotta mess with you.
I know it's cool. It's cool, you know.
Hey, I'll say this for the hobby. I mess around a lot, but I have been to car shows here. There are $10,000, $12,000, $15,000 Russell Westbrook high graded cars on the table. There's a market here in LA. I'm pretty sure it's a market where you played that before. People enjoy Russell Westbrook, and his cars are very marketable, and his prices have not flatlined. People respect his game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody asked FD, what's your collecting goals for 2022? Is there a certain sport you're going to focus on and why? I don't focus on sports, right? I focus on particular players within those sports. People have heard me talk about Debo Samuel. There's been some other players that I talk about. I look at, are you Deion Sanders, JP says all the time, are you a dog? Are you a dog in your sport? Are you
Yeah.
someone that's going above and beyond and doing more? And then that consistency word comes up. Are you
Oh
doing
yeah.
this all the time? Then are you putting together, after all that happens, you put something to put together a body of work? Are you an all-star in your sport? Are you leading in certain statistical categories that help your team win? Is your team winning? And then once you become a veteran, are you developing younger players around you to become a
Yeah.
better team overall? So I started checking those boxes all over the place. And when I check enough, then I'm going to start really researching some investments about that player.
Oh yeah.
And I just want to emphasize to people, to me, the upfront work is what it's all about. And I don't know if all of, as a collecting community, if we're interested in that, but those are the things that kind of help you make a decision about who you want to invest in. And then at the end of the day, it's still, who do you want to invest in?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not just one person. People right now are talking about Curry. People are talking about different players. I know some people that don't want to invest in Curry and don't see him as a all-time great player. I respect that.
Yeah.
I respect it. So it's all about what you want to collect. But in 2022, I'm looking at some vintage, like Erica was talking about, of some key players. Also looking at who is the next wave of greatness in the sports that we watch today. Tom Brady is not going to play forever. Aaron Rodgers is not going to play forever. There will be great quarterbacks. May not be on that level, but there will be the next level of greatness that will come out. Who are those players? Where are they at in the marketplace? Are they undervalued? Are they overvalued? Someone asked a question earlier. Let's see if I can get back to it, about Kyler Murray. Like, is this a dip for him right now?
I would say no.
So Sydney said Kyler Murray dip now. I would love to see Murray dip. So Murray just lost tonight, right?
Yeah.
We can just about say there's no certainty at this time right now. It's 8:34 Pacific Standard Time that there's definitely going to be a dip, right? But something is probably going to happen with his cards. And I would say that this is the first time he's ever really been tested in his career since he won the Heisman.
I would.
So what
Yeah.
happens to the cards?
I would agree. I would agree with that. But I look at several things too, right? He lost one of his top receivers, and I'm not, just hear me out here. I'm not making no excuses, because
I'm gonna hear you out. Go ahead.
it's all type of people that are injured across the NFL. People out with COVID and things of that nature. We gotta factor in a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to think, he lost one of his top guys, right, on offense. I'm not a huge Watt fan, but he can make a difference in the game if you're talking about somebody that's occupying two bodies, like FD's boy Aaron Donald, that's going to command two people, even though he's not Johnny Randall, but uh, but just commanding those type of double teams to kind of free up other people on his team, and then what people are really wanting to know, and I even seen this in articles, people were asking, was Larry Fitzgerald coming back? Larry Fitzgerald was not coming back to the Phoenix Cardinals. I'm sorry to say that. Any Phoenix Cardinals fans out there, I'm not trying to upset you, but that man is not coming back to that team. He wants to go play for a championship caliber team if he does come back. Who that is, for him, I don't know.
Hey, Gronk took a year off and came back.
Yeah.
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 Somebody else might.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I think within the card market, his prices will dip. I don't know about how much, because I don't know exactly where his card prices are. but the card market in general, in terms of the people who just flip and all that, they react to games like this. So the people who want to buy, I think it's going to be a good time to buy. In the next few weeks and in off season, if you believe in him. But he's still so young, so
Yeah,
He is very young.
yeah, he is young. But
One
that
of the
is a
best
good
trips
book.
I ever had in college. I went out to Oklahoma and saw Kyler Murray his last year play UCLA. Just watching him in person,
Oh,
he's just such a great athlete.
yeah.
Just put everything else, carbine, push all that to the side, right? Like, hey, JP, push it all to the side. He is a great athlete. He's just
Yeah,
yeah.
I would think you have to be able to put something around that guy to be more successful as a total offense.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because he can I haven't really watched the game tonight. I'll look at it and evaluate it and see what I'm seeing from him. What's his decision making processes? Because that's how you take yourself to the next level. You
Oh, yeah.
can look at a defense, understand what they're doing, and react accordingly. But he's a good up and coming player. Flea market mixtape. Did Royce, the 5'9", say he is checking those boxes? If not, it doesn't matter. Royce the 5'9". Do you all know who that is?
I think that if I'm not mistaken, I thought it was a rapper, but I could be wrong.
Oh yeah, I don't know Royce the 5'9". Flea
Yeah,
market. So you got to
I'm
hit me with like some Run DMC. You got to take me to some Big and some Pac or something. When I hear Royce the 5'9", doesn't ring any bells for me. I'm just saying, Royce the 5. I can't name one song. Can anybody name a song? Flea market mixtape. Give me some titles of some songs of Royce the 5'9". And what city is Royce the 5'9" from? All right, hey guys, from Matt. The Clippers are on thin playoff ice because George and Leonard are injured. Do they offload vets to contenders? Marcus Morris, Reggie Jackson. I mean, that's it's an interesting question. If you offload Marcus Morris, what are you getting back from that?
I mean, I don't know where to begin with that.
I mean, maybe you're trying to make a financial decision for your team and reduce some salary cap to do something in the future, but yeah,
yeah,
I don't
but
know. The Clippers have been going through some things for a while.
yeah.
Kawhi won't play this year. It'd be interesting to see if he plays next year. Paul George, I don't think too highly of Paul George. He can put some points on the board. I mean, he showed more to me last year in the playoffs than I've ever seen of him. He actually did attempt to put that team on his back and take him somewhere. I don't know, Erica or JP, what you think of this question, but
the Clippers, they just need healthy Kawhi Leonard, and a healthy Paul George. That's where it starts. I think they just need to add another piece or two, but you got to keep Morris with those two because I think he complements them. He's a hard worker. He can play inside, outside.
okay.
They need for sure. Reggie Jackson's pretty good as well. He plays really well with PG. I personally like PG in his game. I thought when he was playing with Russ at OKC, he was balling there. And then, like you said last year in the playoffs, like he did his thing in the playoffs, even though they didn't get the result they wanted. But he still is one of the best players in the league.
Yeah.
he is. Would you move George to try to bring somebody else in? If that was even feasible.
No, because he plays offense and defense. No, keep him. He complements Kawhi.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So
I
E,
think that team has to continue to be built on playing both sides of the courts. They
right.
just need to add a couple more pieces to that.
Okay, so E, answer me this question. So if you had uh two key pieces to move, if you had your choice, if you was a GM and you had two key pieces to move to bring to add to your franchise, of the Los Angeles Clippers, who would you bring there and why?
Okay, this is just players that I think will fit, not you know money wise and all that, but Jimmy Butler will be probably my number one guy.
Hmm.
And then the next one would probably have to be a big, but I like Sabonis from the Pacers a lot. You know,
Bonus
I
is
would look
nice.
into like I would look into maybe him or somebody like him. Yeah, those yeah, but Jimmy Butler for sure. You know,
Can you?
You know what's crazy? Who came back to the Pacers recently? JP, we even talked about this. That went overseas and
Oh,
played for a little while. Played for the Pacers before. Was
oh,
always the guy.
Steve Lance.
yes, Lance Stevens.
Did you see how him and Sabonis are playing together?
Yeah.
And
Yes.
they're nice. They're nice.
Yeah.
He's throwing.
Yes.
They're playing that pick and roll, and Sabonis is very athletic.
Yes.
See,
Yes.
yeah, Sabonis. I agree with that. Now you get
Yeah.
my wheels spinning because if you can get
Yeah.
Sabonis
Yeah.
out of Indiana and
Yeah.
get him somewhere, his father
Yep.
was a baller. His father was a
Oh
good player.
yeah. Yes, he
Very good
was.
athletic big man that
Sabina
people don't really
Sabonis.
get because he's with the Pacers.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
He got to get out of Indiana. He has to.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, when
Yep.
you said Jimmy Butler, ooh, oh that I mean that's like a three-headed monster. Just think,
Yes.
Jimmy Butler, PG, and Kawhi Leonard. Man, that's a ooh.
Hey JP,
Yep.
we got a question for you from Mike Aldrich. Mike says, JP, what's your sweatshirt say? Are you showing some love for the Oregon Ducks?
Yes, sir, baby.
All right.
Oregon.
All right.
Oregon Ducks, baby.
Very cool.
Mr. Mike Aldridge, yes, sir. Oregon Ducks.
Yes, he is. Big O is Michael Jordan's favorite player. And there is a reason why.
Yes.
Same people sleep on this man. His
Yeah.
career, there is not a lot of footage of him playing. A lot of stuff was lost. A lot of game film was lost. The stuff you do find, some of it doesn't even have sound. But
No, yeah. It
you
does
just
not.
watch him in the post, watch him play point coming down the court, watch him throw the ball to different people. His jump shot was unblockable.
Smooth.
We could do this whole show. I could just go on and on about Big O. I sold Westbrook once. He wore a woman's dress.
I don't think it was a woman's dress. It was some type of fashion attire, but it wasn't a woman's dress.
Well, Sydney, I'm going to say this: if Westbrook, no, seriously, yeah, if he wanted to wear a woman's dress, that doesn't. I don't know what. I'm not here to judge his attire. If he wanted to wear a woman's dress, that's what he's wearing.
Yeah.
Right?
Y'all crazy.
All right. Flea Market Mixtape. People have been picking up Kyrie. I see. The Kyries on my watch list are all bought up. Good deals, too. So this brings the question I think JP and I may have talked about offline. Let's talk about some point guards right quick. And I was just on a live and somebody made the comparison between Cleveland's point guard in the comments. And someone said Rod Strickland because I was asking the question, who does he remind you of? And then I just said that let's not forget who Rod Strickland is.
Mm-hmm.
Please let's not forget that. Who are when you start thinking of point guards, all-time great point guards, who are some names that come to mind? And this is for everybody in the chat as well. What are some names that you think of? We talk about, is Isaiah Thomas on that list?
Yes.
Who's on that list? Is Tony Parker on that list?
Yes.
Okay.
Those two for sure. Tony Parker always gets left off the conversation for some reason, but
Always. His card values are not.
And it's like Tony Parker isn't the greatest point guard, but he's in that conversation of top point guards of all time. But I realize a lot of people, if you don't really understand basketball, you're not even going to think to even consider him. So,
True.
Just the general population or the card hobby, Tony Parker is sadly an afterthought. But yeah.
Yeah, you
Like
gotta.
people don't really talk about Bob Cousy anymore. You know, when you go back and you go vintage, people talk about certain players. The other
Yeah.
players are just not really mentioned.
I mean, I mean, you really have to. When you talk about point guards, you talking about a facilitator. We all know Magic Johnson was a 6'9" facilitator.
Mm-hmm.
Period, hands
Mm-hmm.
down. Uh, we sleep. We also sleep on. Well, okay. I mean, Dumars will play the point sometimes, but
Yeah, he would.
Du-
And that
Dumars
offense,
was.
though, I think Isaiah was the point and he was the two.
Yeah, yeah. They would switch from at times, but you still got to look at somebody like Joe Dumars. That was pretty. That was a pretty smooth dude that played both ends of the court. Uh,
Yep.
was always ready to guard the toughest guy. He always wanted to guard Jordan.
True.
I mean, you have to look at certain people like that, man. Uh,
Yeah.
I got a ton of them, but hey,
John Stockton.
yeah,
Oh, John
oh
Stockton's
yeah,
He
he's
has
oh
definitely
yeah,
Gary
he's
Payton,
definitely
GP,
Gary Payton,
yeah,
the
yeah,
original glove. Yeah.
Steve Nash.
yeah, oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
You know,
oh
it's
yeah,
and the point guard position, like it's so many top tier. You know, we can rattle off 20 guys and all agree. But then when you
Mm-hmm.
go from like 20 to 50, those guys were really good too. You
yeah,
know, so it's a lot of guys that play point guard, like you said, Dumars. Like nobody even talks about him anymore, but he was very very good. Even a guy
yeah,
like Rod Strickland, people overlook him.
yeah,
Yes,
Like
they do. Yes,
oh
they
like
do.
yeah,
of Steve Francis, like the list can go on and on. But you know,
ooh,
And she's pulling
ooh,
some names out right. This is why I wanted to ask this question. Because she's
yeah,
pulling some names out right now.
like nobody talks about Steve Francis.
No.
Nobody.
hey, yeah, him and Catino Mobley, they was a duo in Houston for a while.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we can't forget about
Yes.
them. Now
So
Yep.
interesting.
we
You know, like you could just the point guard position is just has so much talent all around, even just for not the top guys. Like growing up
yeah.
in the '90s. Well, growing up in the '90s, every time you turn the game on, it's good point guard on TV playing.
Oh
For the most part.
yeah. Oh, of
Yep.
course. My man over there, Tim Hardaway, TMC over there in Golden State. You can't forget about them dudes, man.
Yep.
John Starks, like the list goes on and on. But like if you look at today's NBA, it's not like that. It's like you got 10 guys or maybe 8 that you consider really good.
Why do you think that is? You think the fun? See, I think there's been something has eroded with the fundamentals of the game from a point guard
Yeah.
perspective and a center perspective.
Bingo.
Those two positions
So,
are not what they used to be, and I don't think athletes don't stick around in college like they used to. Like let's talk about a Grant Hill. He stayed 4 years and grew each year as a
Yes.
best player in a
Yes.
good system and with a great coach.
That's a great
Guys now
yeah,
point.
don't do that. They come out, they may spend 1, maybe 2 years, and then they're moving on,
yeah.
and they don't develop those kind of fundamentals.
I,
Yeah.
I, I agree with you. I also think the biggest thing is the training itself. Like the individual player training or with their trainer or with their team, like they're just point guards now just focus more on scoring. Like, remember back in the day, point guards were the dribble heavy. Like,
Yeah.
anytime they get the ball in this dribble, they'd be happy. You'd be happy to dribble. You'd be happy to work on you the first one to pass them. Like, all right, let's do passing.
Yeah.
Nowadays it's like the point guard is just kind of evolved into the 2 guard.
See, speak on it. Speak on it.
So
Because you got
I
Dame
think that's
Lillard.
different.
You have Steph Curry. These guys, I don't know if they would have been a point guard back in the day.
No. Oh no. Point guards back in the day were they could pass, they could play D, they could shoot when need be, but their main goal wasn't coming down the court and shooting. Main goal was getting it inside to Patrick Ewing, getting inside
Yeah.
to Alon Warren. Like that's what they wanted to do. They wanted to get their big men. They wanted to get, Allen Houston. They wanted him to get 7 threes that game. Like they was happy for that.
So what you're saying right now, so the game has changed to where the 3-pointer is the shot. It's not coming down and feeding my big man.
No.
No, the big men and big women today. I feel bad. I played point guard, but I do feel bad for the big men today because it's like they're left on an island. You see them down there posting up, but the point guard and the two guard, even the three won't give them the ball. They got to come
Yeah,
out to the three to get the ball and dribble in if they want to dribble in or take a three. So it's
man.
kind of you don't see that. All right, post up. I'm gonna give you the ball. You don't see that no more. Like that's why Joel Embiid. What he do most of the time? He's out at the three
Three
getting the ball.
pointers.
He faces you up. He's gonna shoot a jumper, either be mid range or a three, or he's gonna go do that twirl move to try to take you to the cup. But he's not gonna back you down, and he's
No,
not coming.
No, no,
like even
boy.
like even like a guy like Drummond, he could get 20, 22 points a game if you give him the ball on the block, but they're not even concerned about that. Like the game has just changed. Do I like it? I evolved with it, but I wish it was more of a balance. I wish it
Yeah,
was more of a balance.
boy, you dropping that
Flea Market
knowledge on
said
me.
his son was killing him on 2K with Sabonis. Sabonis is a good player. Let's talk about another good upcoming player. Mr. Timothy says thoughts on Miles Bridges with the Hornets. Potential to be a 30 points per game average player, or will he always be streaky? He put up 38 tonight without Melo, age 23. And I think the conversation that we're going to have here is going to speak to a lot of players today. Because if if Bridges is streaky, some other players could be labeled that as well. And I think the consistency word always comes back up. Is this player consistent with what they do? And then do they play defense on the other side of the court?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's the thing you have to get into when you start looking at these players.
Mm-hmm.
Are they playing both ends of the court, like FD and E were saying? Are they sound in their positions? It's another thing you have to look at. Are they fundamentally sound? I would say no. When you look at a lot of players, they're not fundamentally sound. Both of you guys hit on a lot of key things. FD, you spoke about them not staying in college to develop their skills like Grant Hill. Um, like you said, and E mentioned, a lot of these guys, uh, they was that good at one thing. If it was facilitating, it was facilitating, but it wasn't like the old guys who had all around a skill set. They can pass. They had great vision. They were facilitators. They made the right plays when it came down to it, when the game was on the line. So, yeah.
So now Anthony Simmons, I've been paying more and more attention to him. He's a pretty decent player. He has a good outside shot. He had a game recently where he scored a lot of points. It's going to be interesting to see how he develops. And we know that since we talk about players don't stay in the college ranks for a long period of time, more and more players are going down to the G League. Poole did that. We can name a lot of other players who are
Yes.
checking their skills down there and then coming back up to show what they can do. I think if you're a
Yes.
player out there, from what I'm seeing, and you spent a year in college and you said, I'm going to go out and just rip up the NBA, you may have to develop a program or a process of how you get better and what are you going to do that, because the college scene is probably not going to be where you do that at. And we've already seen it affecting when Baylor won the national championship. I said that night to some people I knew, and I'm not disrespecting Baylor because they had a good team, but I just said this is the direct result of players playing 1 year and then leaving to go to the NBA. And a
Yeah.
lot of those players on that team they stuck around to help Baylor win that championship.
Yeah.
We got a question here from High Van. Thoughts on LaMelo? I say LaMelo. I'll just jump out there first. He's a player that scores the basketball. I don't see him playing a lot of defense.
Go ahead, E. I'll let you go. And then,
I like Melo. I like LaMelo's game. He's definitely more offensively geared, but I think he will develop his defensive side. I do. I think it's going to take about 3 to 4 years. Once he hits about age 25, then I think he's going to be more of a complete player. Um, I, I think the issue is that with the team he's at. Also, and I don't know if he's going to be able to develop at the rate that he should in terms of on court action. Because from what I've witnessed, his off the court training, all that, he's on point with it. He puts in the work.
Yeah, he does.
You know,
He puts in
very
work.
passionate about it. I respect that young brother's what he's doing. I just think on the court, he might need to get under a better coach, around some better veteran players. Yeah, so I don't know exactly what team that would be, but yeah, I'm high on
The
him.
same thing we're
I'm high
saying
on
for
him.
him, though, is what we could say for a lot of young players. You know, they
Yeah.
come out, they first can score the basketball. I don't not even question if LaMelo can shoot, take someone off the dribble, dunk, do any of that. He can do all of that. But the all-around game, I think, is what people need to develop over time. Does he have the ability to do it? I think he does. The question is,
So
do a lot of these players want to do that?
so my question for you all, uh, golly, oh, kind of similar name with Carmelo Anthony. Now he was a person that shot the ball, right? That could score the ball, but didn't play no defense. Are we seeing this from LaMelo Ball? I mean, what's going on here?
He's early in the process. I think he's early in the process. So I think we could use Carmelo as an example of someone who may have stayed the course.
Yeah.
But there may be other players that come out, need to spend some time or get around some veteran leadership. I just got to believe if, like Poole playing with Golden State, he's in practice every day with 3 or 4 future Hall of Famers.
Yep.
Every day of the week. So if someone like LaMelo Ball or could be around something like that, his development might be a little bit different. You know, I don't know.
Okay,
But we got some point guards here that people are talking about. Stockton,
yeah.
Ron Harper,
Ron Harper, yes, sir.
yeah. Magic Johnson,
Yep.
Joe Dumars, Isaiah
Yeah.
Thomas. Okay. Brandon. Okay. All right. Jason Kidd,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steve Nash. We got a
Nash.
second vote for station. Jason Kidd. We got Tim Hardaway.
Yeah.
We got Steph, CP3, and Dane.
Ooh.
Baron Davis,
Oh yeah.
Muggsy Bogues.
Oh, of course.
Baron Davis had injuries. Yes, he did.
Yes, he
Yes, he
did.
did.
Yep. Yep.
Kevin Johnson, Kenny Smith, Greg Anthony.
Okay.
Flea market came with some things right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Then we got Mike Aldridge says Ja Morant and LaMelo Ball are more trading point guards. Both their ceilings look pretty high. Yeah, Ja is the future. You know what's interesting though? Ja got hurt this year, right? And there were people saying that like he's not that good.
I don't know what they was watching.
I heard people saying, he might be a little overrated. He's not that good. We'll see what he does when he comes back. He even said in a game when he came back from his injury that he's playing and people are yelling from the crowd telling him that maybe you need to go sit down again for a few more weeks. And then he sent a message out, I think on Twitter or something, that he was leaving social media because he didn't want to hear that. It's just interesting how it goes.
You're right. It's interesting how it goes, but most of the time, the people who are saying crazy things like that, they don't know what they're talking about. Like, and it starts with even on TV analysts. Like, most of these analysts don't know what they're talking about, and they just spit things out. Like, I don't know. It's just crazy to me. Like, I don't know.
But you made a very good point, E. It's a difference between being a journalist and an analyst. People don't understand.
True.
Those are two big different things. You know what I'm saying?
Very true.
When you look at it,
Very true.
Yeah.
Very true. But I honestly think I think Ja is probably slightly underrated. He's definitely. I remember he did say those things the people were saying. Maybe you shouldn't be back. The team's winning without you, but that's just things people say. That's just stupid, flat out stupid.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But
So we got a trivia question here from Mr. Timothy. Again, who is the only player to average 20 plus points, 10 plus assists, 2 plus steals per game for 4 straight seasons, and it's not Oscar Robertson.
huh.
Anybody know who that is?
He been on that. He been on that Google while we've been up here having this.
I don't know who that is. Timothy, Mr. Timothy, you let me know.
I would take a guess at maybe Magic. That'd be a guess I would throw out.
Right.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I would definitely concur with that. Magic Johnson would definitely be one.
Mr. Timothy, I know he's gonna hook us up with the answer to who this is. And then we got James that says, "Hey y'all, what do you think about the 2021 Mosaic Bang inserts? Collectible possibility. Love those clutch shots moments. I like the KD and Curry hollows." I
That's a
haven't
great
looked
question.
2021. Erica, if you about to do some quick research, have you looked at these?
Yes, I have, and I plan on buying one. Well, actually, my friend Anne Marie, she has one that I'm trying to get. She has the she has the green Kyrie shot when he hits for Cleveland. She has the green one and she has the base one.
Anne Marie. She got some historical moments, huh?
Yeah, but that's not the new mosaic though. But it's nice. I like it. When I looked at the card and I looked at like the KD and the Curry one too, and just flipping on eBay, I'm like, it just brings you back to the moment of you watching that game live. Yeah. And I'm very high on those cards. I like you can get them cheap too, reasonable. So I would recommend, like, if you like them, just scoop some up.
I'm looking at some right now here. Yeah,
enjoy them, and then I think those cards have the potential of like 15 years down the line.
Yeah,
people will be like, oh, I really want that card for my collection.
Yeah, I see the green one here with Kyrie hitting over Steph Curry.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
What do you think about it?
All right, Anne-Marie. All right.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, these are nice looking cards.
Yeah. I like them. I like them.
I got another one for you. What do you think about the stained glass?
I love it. I love the stained glass. Yeah. I do. Those are sharp.
Yeah,
those are sharp. Those are sharp cards. I love them. I have maybe 2 or 3, but I think I have a Bubba Wallace stained glass card.
Check you out. What?
Got that a while ago, but it's sharp, especially with the NASCAR cards. They got the poses it's like they're photo ready. So it's beautiful on that card. Yep. Those are sharp.
Now that card you got is gonna be worth a lot.
I believe so too.
Yeah, buddy.
Yep.
Yes, definitely him.
Yeah, I was on the show recently. Saw some Bubba Wallace auto cards. He has a nice autograph for like a current athlete.
Did you see what this person said?
I see that. But we can go down a list of NBA players in particular that done that. Michael Jordan dressed up as a grandma. I'm like, that was just kind of the thing in that timepiece, for those commercials and those ads.
Yeah, Larry Johnson did grandma.
Yeah. That was just their thing. But
that's one player right there that if he did not hurt his back and when he played with that Charlotte Hornets team, man, them dudes were serious business over there, boy.
Yep.
Dexter, always appreciate you. Dexter was always here. Appreciate you. KG was almost in a 96 draft. Imagine if he was forced to do a one and done. Let me just say this. JP and I are from Chicago. KG played with a guy named Ronnie Fields. Ooh. Ronnie Fields was a baller, first of all. Ronnie Fields got in a bad accident and was hurt. KG in high school then went on to average a quadruple double.
Yeah. I mean, this dude, Ronnie Fields, The thing that Michael Jordan was doing at 6'6", this dude was doing at 5'9", 6 foot even. Even seen
I
this
mean, at that
dude.
height, he was dunking with his arm over the rim. He was dunking into the rim at that height. Look, Google
And,
Ronnie Fields, people. He was
and
something else. He also has some stuff on YouTube that'll probably shock you.
FD, wouldn't you say he probably had what, a 48-inch vertical? Easy.
Yeah, he was something else. He was something else. I hated that he got hurt and he had a halo on and all that and never came back. I hated
But
that, but
he even dunked with the halo on.
yeah, he did. I saw that video.
Yeah. Trust me, it's out there. Go check it out, E. Gotta let us know what you think.
Well, I'm slightly familiar with him because I watched the KD documentary,
Oh, then you
and
know
he
him.
talked.
Yeah, he's in there.
Yeah. I know enough. Yeah, I remember watching the clips, and I'm like,
yeah,
oh my god! Like I was just like,
he was a
I
freak of
was like,
nature.
my jaw dropped, But
Now, I wish you talking about KD playing Forced to Do One. I wish we could have seen more of Ronnie Fields.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That the clips that I seen of him, I was just like,
oh, okay.
man. But I was just like, man, like,
yeah,
but
he was special.
yeah.
But Flea Market said the Mavs had Derek Harper.
Oh wow.
That's good knowledge. Now we're not talking about the Derek Harper that was with the New York Knicks. We're talking about the Derek Harper that was with the Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah, with Rolando Blackman.
Yeah, Rolando Blackman. Yeah, this is great knowledge right here. Because that Derek Harper was something else.
Yeah.
He was something else. All right, so we got Dexfo here. Number one, guys, a Pop One comp question. A PSA 9 2020 Prism Gold out of 10 Jokic sold for $1,825. How much should I comp a PSA 10 2020 Black Gold out of 10 Jokic? Also, who better, Jokic or Giannis? This is deep here.
Yes, it is.
Let me jump back into this. A PSA 9 2020 Prism Gold out of 10 Jokic sold for $1,825. Let me ask you this, Dexflo. The 2020 Black Gold out of 10 Jokic, what are other 2020 Prism Gold Black 10s out of like great players or other big men or Giannis? What are they selling for? That's how I would comp that. And then let's look at some factors. Like if you look at some other good cards of each one of those players from 2020 or 2019, what are some percentage factors that you could add up, take up, or take down to understand? You could then take that over to 2020 and understand what that 2020 card is worth.
Yeah.
I would agree.
Yeah,
you spot on with that. You spot on. Yeah.
Now, who's better, Jokic or Giannis? Is that a question?
I think you win in both ways when you think about it.
Yeah, I think you are winning both ways. Dexfo may be trying to get rid of that card, but is Jokic and Giannis, like, who's thinking Jokic is better, or who's thinking Giannis is better? Like, I would say Giannis is better hands down. But what do you?
Giannis better hands double hands down. That's not even a question, but.
Yeah.
But you notice though, I've noticed within the card hobby, people speak and think really highly of Joker. They really do. Like some people even consider him the best in the league, and they have last year, this year, and I'm just like, okay.
I respect that. I respect it. I just don't know. I don't know.
I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it, but that's the view that they're looking at, I just,
Yeah.
But Dexfo, you let me know if that information helped you, or do you want to get deeper into this? Because if it did, I want to help. If you feel like what we just told you did not, then let's get deeper into it.
Yeah, hey, Dexflo.
I would comp it just the same as the goal. Yeah, I kind of would too, but Dexflo is coming with it. Black Gold's 5. I screwed up there. Mine is a 10. The one was sold for was a 9. Yeah, I would look at those different factors. and see
Yeah.
if how you can determine the card price and see if there's a multiple or a something that lets the cards go up and down by player to see if you have something there.
Yeah.
It says Mosaic is always the best for inserts. They do have good inserts.
Yeah.
The bangers are cool. They are. The Mosaic White out of 25 Curry Match is an amazing card.
I'm gonna have to check that one out.
Yeah. What about Penny Hardaway? And what did you put Moses
Oh
Malone?
man, come on now. Come on, stop it.
Penny Hardaway was a good player.
Wesley Powell, he was the truth.
Yeah, Penny Hardaway was nice.
He was the truth. I mean, who? Oh, you got to think who could stop that high-low combination with him and Shaq, a young Shaq running, and you got Penny Hardaway lead the pack.
So when he asked the question, where you put Moses Malone? Is Moses Malone in your top 25, Erica or JP?
For point guards or overall players?
Oh no, overall player. Overall top 25 list.
Oh, I ain't sharing none of my list.
JP.
I don't know. I would have to review my list, but he's definitely. I definitely have to consider him. Definitely.
Yeah, he's a top player.
Yeah,
he's a top overall player.
I gotta look at the list, but
yeah, he's a top player. Thank you, Enrique, for rolling. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Now we're talking about Robin dresses. Yeah. Robin had his makeup tight too. He was ready.
Hey, that's right though.
He was photo shoot ready.
Yeah, he was.
Robin doing his thing. Yeah, Baron Davis was even a problem with that knee injury. Just changed his game.
Yeah, it did. It
just
really
changed
did.
his game. Yeah, it's a shame. Curry is selling super strong. This is Matt. A 2021 and 1 downtown just showed for 15 minutes ago for 3,750. Okay. Yeah. Some people are asking the question: is Curry stuff overpriced now?
I would say no.
I would say it's properly priced.
Yeah.
This is a great comment right here, right?
Yeah.
Documentary of Ben Wilson. I've watched this documentary several times.
Okay,
they said he was the next Jordan. Since you are from Chicago, what's your take? Let me just tell you this. So I was in elementary school when Ben Wilson was shot and killed, right? Chicago shut down. Chicago shut down. I just want to say this again, for a high school player that everybody knew was going to the next level. And if you watch his tapes, the skills that you see, the jump shot, the dribbling ability at his height, just how fast he ran the court. I can't talk enough about Benji, as people will call him.
Yeah, Benji Wilson.
A very special player. He's someone that I will always remember just from what was happening at my school. When we got the word that he was officially deceased, the sadness that was in the school, the children crying. You talk about Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose talks a lot about Ben Wilson. And when he went to Simeon, I could just go on and on and on. But Ben Wilson was some kind of player. And then some kind of person in the community. Stuff that he was doing with young children. And he's just a very special person. I appreciate Christopher King bringing this up because I could probably be an old man sitting in a corner one day and someone brings up Ben Wilson and I'm going to start talking about Ben Wilson. Yeah.
An ambidextrous player, play with both hands. Was the #1 player in the country at the time. When you start speaking about top players in Chicago, we can go all the way back to Marcus Liberty, Benji Wilson. Those type of guys were what they say, like the next Jordan on those levels. Like I said, played at Simeon. That's why a lot of players wanted to go to Simeon, is because of Benji Wilson. You know, if you look at a lot of Illinois players, Lowell Hamilton, some of those guys that played down at University of Champaign was because of Benji Wilson. They had Benji's number. What, number 25?
Number 25. What number did Derrick Rose wear?
25, I think.
Yeah. All because of
Yeah.
Ben Wilson.
Yeah, because of Benji Wilson. So, yeah, I mean, this guy was phenomenal. If you have not watched the document, E, you need to watch the document.
I will. I have not watched it. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it this week.
Oh, you should check this out. Whenever you have
Yeah.
time, it is a pleasure. I mean, everybody out there should. I say this at home, and people look at me. You got to watch Hoop Dreams.
Oh,
but
yeah,
not too far behind Hoop Dreams. So if you want to put it before, this documentary is a great documentary.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will definitely watch it.
Chris King, appreciate that comment, though.
I really appreciate that comment. That means a lot. It means a lot to me that as a kid, what happened to Ben Wilson, and then we can be on this live and actually talk about it. I'm telling you, I can remember this like it was yesterday. Just the feeling in the city.
Yeah.
Got any Juwan stories? Now, JP, I'm just gonna leave that in your wheelhouse now.
All right. Me and Juwan was pretty good dudes, pretty good friends. I met Juwan through a friend named Mike Irvin, who was a part of this huge basketball family called the Irvins in Chicago. They were legendary known. I think their dad played with Johnny Red Kirk back in the day, which we all know that Johnny Red Kirk was the Bulls announcer back in the day that would call the stuff in the United Center or the stadium. But
Chicago Stadium.
Yeah, Chicago Stadium. But Juwan, I'm not gonna say his nickname, but we used to call him in the neighborhood.
Because everybody in the neighborhood got a nickname.
Yeah. I'm not gonna what's the name, but was raised by his grandmother, who raised him quite well, and the dude was legendary. Went to CVS in Chicago, so just legendary, great guy all around.
Dexfo says, I think he's talking about this deal. I spent $5K because I was able to flip 7 cards for like $3K, so I really spent only $2K. The deal you're talking about, I mean, you're winning. You know, it's as long as you were able to get the cards at the price that you wanted.
Yeah.
You are winning. I got a question here. Am I picking up any Jordan Poole cards?
Why not?
Not right now as we sit here right now. Not you know, you hear about these like these. I'm not a first mover on a lot of stuff. You know, I'm not the person that just on a. You may hear me talk about some young players, but some people I got to see where they're at, right? Like Poole, I told JP one day, I got to see what Poole is when Klay Thompson comes back and starts cutting the minutes. Then I'm going. Let me just get in this. Then I'm going to find out who Poole is. Those are the kind of nuances that I look for. Is he going to get the Toronto? Is he going to be upset about that? Or does he have a championship in mind? So that's what I want to know about Poole. I'm not buying any Poole right now. I own one Poole card that was a base level card that I didn't spend too much for that I bought at the show. Other than that, I haven't bought any Poole. Not at all. He's on a list of some people that I've thought about, you know, just researching, but no. Matt is in the house.
What's up?
Matt,
what's up, Matt?
Yeah, just stop by to say, I always appreciate you, Matt. Yeah.
Hey, Matt. E, I got a question for you, E.
Yes.
What do you think about De'Aaron Fox in Sacramento?
I have not been able to watch any full games of his. They don't come. They don't come on TV. Right. But I watched some highlights. I'm still middle of the road with him. I think I don't know. I would say he may need to go to another team, pair up with some more complementary players for his game. But I think he's very good. I think he could get even better.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. The Kings are just a mess, and I don't know. I don't know. Uh,
You sound like FD. He's been preaching that from day one.
yeah,
I've
they a
been
mess.
what? The Sacramento Kings?
Yeah, that De'Aaron Fox
Ever
needs to get
since the
out.
NBA stole that playoff series from Sacramento and gave it to Shaq and Kobe,
I remember that.
Sacramento Kings have not been the same.
They have not. It's a shame they didn't win that series.
Oh, that series got stolen. Yeah, there were people going to the line. You just dribbling, foul, go to the line, shoot some free throws. Sacramento is getting hacked, getting beat down. Nope, they're just holding whistle. Just holding the whistle. Yeah,
True, they haven't been the same since.
Kobe will shoot like 14 free throws a game.
Yeah.
Oh man. Dude,
Yeah, you know that's the real deal. That's interesting. NBA never meant that though. You know, it never. I guess you got to ask yourself: did anybody really want to see Sacramento in the finals, or do you want to see Kobe and Shaq and all these other players, Big Shot Rob? Do you want to see them in the finals? So that's just my. You know, some people may say, "What? When did that happen?" But you know, I have no proof. People, I have no proof. But,
I got a question for you guys.
What's up?
Okay.
What do y'all think about Freddie from Toronto Raptors?
Who is Freddie?
Freddie.
Oh, he's nice. Yeah, he's a nice. I always call him Van Fleet. He's a nice player. He's a player though. He played in the finals, played well, right? Now he's taking on more of the burden on the team because everybody else is left. I would like to see him play some games that like really matter or get to the playoffs with somebody and then see what he does. But he's a good player. His cars are very cheap.
Very.
I actually looked at him about a month ago. Did some research on cars. They're very cheap.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, as long as what player besides, Kyrie played other places before. This is the first team he's been on, Toronto, right?
I believe so. Yep.
Yeah.
I believe
What Toronto players' cars have risen in price?
None, really.
None.
Not even Vince Carter's.
No. Vince Carter's rookies and stuff right now, and second year and third year are still very affordable.
They are. I have a few actually. I happily buy them up. I said, okay. I happily buy them.
I just think it's this just my humble opinion. I think it may be just like the market that they're in. Wouldn't you say?
That's what I'm saying. Yep.
The market.
Yeah.
It's the market. Yeah, I think that's it. I'm a big fan of his game personally. But like you said, JB, the market. But it's amazing to me though that Vince Carter's cards haven't gone up in price point though, especially because of how iconic he was and with the jerseys and everything that he did achieve there, and even when T-Mac was there too. But I think long term we will see a spike in Vince Carter and T-Mac Toronto cards though. Man. I do.
I think so too. I agree with that.
I do. And it's not. I think it's going to be the 30-year-old and up is going to be after those cards because it's going to really bring back memories. You know.
I think Mr. Timothy is talking about Derrick Rose. I think he's 11 now, but he was 25 with Chicago.
Yeah, he was 25 with Chicago.
Yeah. Them two guys you just talked about. T-Mac and definitely VC. Please. Hey, them dudes used to give Kobe nightmares. Definitely T-Mac.
T-Mac. You remember when he scored 11 points in under 20 seconds or so?
Yeah. That's another player that is not valued in the NBA game, that is not talked about, that should be talked about.
Agreed.
You want somebody that's in the top 15,
Mm-hmm.
top 10. This is one of them. This is one of them type dudes.
But to me, in order for a player to be highly sought after from a collectability standpoint, certain factors have to come together.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't know with some of these players we're naming if those factors. Vince Carter left Toronto. He spent a lot of time in the league, but he wasn't the same player that he was in Toronto. So his rookie cards and some of his probably most sought after stuff, he was in Canada playing ball. We talked about T Mac. He kind of spent his early years in that same market and
Mm-hmm.
then left and had a career in Houston, but his stuff just still has never really taken off like that.
In
Uh,
Orlando too.
yeah, in Orlando. I mean, he was playing in Orlando, so it'd be interesting to see what these kind of cars and the players what their cars do in the future. It'd be interesting. But we're in 2022. We just left 2021, and people just started talking about Steph Curry, really. So I don't. You
That's
just
true.
never
That's
know.
true. But
Yeah.
I have some friends that don't collect. I was talking to Demetrius earlier today, JP. I have a friend that I grew up with, doesn't collect, but he's a finance guy. And we were talking about some things concerning cars. And he was asking me about certain situations, what constitutes a car becoming very popular. And he was shocked that no one was talking about the Curry until recently.
mm-hmm.
And he knows he's the kind he knows basketball, he knows sports, but does he watch it every day? No. But he knew what kind of caliber player that Curry was. But and it's not just Curry. This is not just a Curry conversation because there are several players that we all could name who were kind of legendary or who are Hall of Famers in the NFL or the NBA that a lot of people are not collecting or really talking about collecting.
Oh yeah.
Like Yao Ming, right? Yao Ming is
Yeah.
a great player. I,
Yep.
I don't I don't talk to people and they're like, yeah, man, I just picked up this Yao Ming rookie PSA 10. I don't really hear that. But he was a great player. And his
Yeah.
cards they have good value. It's not like they have good value, but I think there's just a lot of parameters that have to come together for a player's cars to be very successful in the market. And
Yeah.
likability, we talked about, is one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some
Definitely
players that we
that.
can name who their likability is low, and it affects their car prices.
I agree
Yeah.
with you on that. You're right. You're totally right about that. I go back and forth because it does make me mad when I see like Vince Carter or T Mac, even KD, and I see their car prices, and I'm like, that is disrespectful.
What
You
about
know,
Garnett? Now Garnett has some
KJ,
precious metal
yeah, the list go
gems.
on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he has some other cards that are very well sought after. It's just a lot of his rookie stuff is just not.
yeah. It's I don't like it. That's one of the parts of the hobby I don't like, but I understand it, but I don't like it at all. Like, if you want to buy cards, you need to buy the players that were really good. Like if you actually going after cards like, hey, I'm gonna go buy a Jordan Poole. Why would I buy a Jordan Poole card when I can buy a Vince Carter card? I can buy like
Yeah.
10 Vince Carter cards for the
Yeah,
price of the Jordan Poole card.
that's the golden
Yeah.
question.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense to me, but I'm
Dropping
I'm
that
glad it's that
knowledge.
way because I'm able to afford the cards that I like.
Right.
So
Right.
I just don't understand it, you know.
Okay.
But
A Gary Payton Jr. in a Golden State Warriors uniform is my short-term grail right now.
nice,
Oh yeah. He he
nice. I
he
hope you get
coming
it.
with it now. He's coming with it.
Oh,
Yep.
so they say Fox needs to go so Halliburton can go ham. Okay. All right, that's awesome. All I can say is this. I've watched being in LA, a few Sacramento King games, and when I do watch them, I don't see a lot from Halliburton. I may be missing something. Let me know if I'm missing something.
Hmm.
Could be just the games I watch because, I'm not looking for somebody to score 40 every night. Jordan Poole's a good man. I'm investing in him, but I'm sure there will be flip opportunities. Pretty
Yeah.
sure.
Oh
Yeah.
Yeah, I
yeah.
think he's a good
Oh
investment. I
yeah.
think he's going to be a good player. He's early
Yeah.
in his career. He's
Yeah.
got a long time to play. And
Yeah. He's still green though. So
St. Brown. Actually had a conversation with someone today who is a big fan of St. Brown with the Detroit Lions. I think you're talking about, because his brother also plays. He is local, who was really hyped in high school, didn't love the hype at USC, then came strong. Yeah, he's a good player. We'll put some time around him, see what he does. He might need another quarterback. I don't know, but he played well in the games that they won. He played well.
Yeah.
Van Fleet doesn't get the hobby love, just like Lowry.
True.
I just think there's something to that.
Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah.
Yeah, this draft class was stacked at wide receivers. Yep. We will see. What did Cooper Kupp do tonight? Does anybody know?
I have no clue.
I want to see. Let me look him up real quick.
I didn't really watch the game. I had it on in the background, but they stomped the brakes off. They was rolling.
Yeah, he had a good game. He had 5 catches for 61, 12.2 average with a touchdown. He had a good game.
Yeah. I'm not too sold on Cooper Kupp.
Well, we'll see as the playoffs keep going. I think this is a good time for what's so cool about the playoffs is like Booker McFarland was talking about today on ESPN, is this is your time to state who you are as a player and start building your resume up on greatness. But the game he had tonight is a decent game. We'll see how far the Rams go. Vince Carter is underpriced and Monte Ellis is overpriced. So I watched something a week ago. I'm always watching stuff, right? So I watched something a week ago about Monte Ellis did not want to play with Steph Curry. Was not interested in that at all. And so then they shipped Monte Ellis off and then brought in Clay in 2011. And then we all right here at 9:33 with 3 championships and everything else happening. Monte Ellis went from scoring 24 to 25 points a game to soon he wasn't even in the NBA. But he had no interest. Made it brutally honest to several people in the organization. No interest playing with Steph. And when he got drafted, didn't understand why they were drafting Steph.
Well, we see that there's people that are smarter than Monte Ellis at the moment.
Just think if he would have embraced that. Think if he would have embraced it.
Yeah.
Yep.
It could have been something nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, last 2 NFL drafts have been good for rookies. This one is going to suck. You just never know. You just never know. What do y'all think of the quarterback from the University of Pittsburgh?
Oh, I'm not familiar.
Yeah, I'm not. I've seen him play. This is the guy who faked the slide, kept running, ran for a touchdown. They changed the rule. I've seen him play. It's just so hard to understand who's going to do what in the NFL. Because I tell people all the time, in my opinion, the NFL is a totally different sport than college football.
Oh, yes.
Completely
the game
different sport.
speeds up.
You may put on a helmet. Yeah, what you need to do is a running back changes. What you got to do is a quarterback changes.
Yes.
Receivers, how you running routes and how they're playing defense on you. So it's a good proxy to future success sometimes, but you got some players who just never pan out.
That's true. One player from the past, this current draft that just passed, Michael Parsons. I thought I was high on him, very high, and I thought he would have immediate impact. And that was one football player that I clearly saw that he's going to have a great NFL career, out of college. But he has that like spark about him, like that light under his fire, like. But I saw that did he make all NFL team this year?
I think so.
All pro? I think so. Yeah, first year. So that's one guy that stands out to me as far as football players.
What a person! What he goes? Yeah. He's
from Penn State.
Penn State, right?
Yep, Penn State. He's with the Cowboys now.
Yeah, he's a phenomenal player.
Yeah.
Yeah. So someone says here, Flea Market says Paul Pierce card should be worth more. East Coast. We got East Coast in the house. Do you think? What do you think about Paul Pierce and his card values? What do you think, Eric?
I don't know exactly where his card values are because I honestly don't. I rarely see his cards. Like
you're in Philly. And you rarely see
I'm
him?
in the Philly tri-state, so I go to the
You're in
Philly
his
shows.
backyard, right? Yeah.
Well, kind of. I don't go all the way up to Boston, but I go to like Jersey and New York, Delaware,
I mean,
and
it's
then
not that far away. That's not
yeah,
that far
and
away.
I went to Dallas the car show once, and I went down to a Tampa show. So, but I can't even remember when I've seen a Paul Pierce car. I didn't even see his cars in bargain bins. So I never even really looked up his card. So
Whoa.
I just think that my guess would be he would be really undervalued. Yeah.
Yeah, T Mac was influenced by Penny Hardaway. T Mac was the truth. Sorry, Paul Pierce.
Yeah. Speak on it. Speak on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a good point too. You can't flip a Vince Carter. I think that's why you may not be seeing
No,
some
you
of it.
can't.
Yeah, that's why you may not be seeing it.
No.
That's true. Flea market mixtape. My gripe is that Ray Allen needs more hobby love. See, these are the players that I'm talking about. That
Yes.
you don't really hear people talking about. Yeah, I got that Ray Allen PSA 10. Ray Allen was like, it was like reemerged when Curry was breaking a record. Like you don't really see him a lot.
No, I mean you don't see a lot of players. Do you hear about Rip Hamilton? No, you don't.
Not
I follow
really.
him on Instagram, so I see what he's doing. But
I see Ray Allen all the time when I'm watching Jesus Shuttlesworth.
yeah,
He got game one of my favorites. I see him all the time. Spike. I love Spike, and I have
broke it
Spike
down,
gold
didn't
cards.
he? Broke it
I
down.
got Spike
My favorite scene. Let me just say this. I should try to bring it up. My favorite scene in that movie is when they're walking down the boardwalk. When you got Jesus with his father, with Denzel, and they're talking, and then they start talking about Earl the Pearl Monroe and his spin moves, taking it to the cup. That's my favorite scene. That's my favorite scene in that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the scenes when he's reading the letters from his mom. Oh, I love those scenes.
I never forget, they start talking about Black Jesus.
Camp.
Yeah, they start talking about Earl of Pearl being called Black Jesus. So years later, I'm at an autograph show, JP, like 6 years ago. And so I go to get Earl of Pearl's autograph and I asked for that inscription. And he was like, "Oh, you know about that, huh? Most people don't come here talking about that." Yes, sir. Then we started talking about Spike Lee's movie. And he started laughing. He's like, "Oh yeah, man. Spike's a big fan, grew up watching me, so he wanted to put that in." He said people can't sleep on Earl the Pearl Monroe. I was like, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you can't sleep on that dude. Earl the Pearl.
You're talking about a player. This is the thing about sports, right? Earl the Pearl brought the playground to the NBA. He brought that style of play. What some people try to do in the ABA, he brought it to the NBA. And then when you talk to Kareem about who was Earl of Pearl Monroe when he was leaving the East Coast to go to UCLA. He had nothing but admiration for Earl of Pearl. Earl of Pearl was a playground king when Kareem was just coming through.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at a lot of them, Dr. J, Walt Frazier, all them dudes is, is legendary type dudes, man.
Yeah.
And then you can't forget about my man, George Man Ice Gervin, because he could finger roll, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's funny how that works. All right. I got a Cyber Metal Ray Allen is like $5. Interesting. Vince Carter 98 SP rookie card is his holy grail for me. And I can remember when the SP card was like the value was flying up quickly when he was young at what he was doing, like 98, 99, 2000. Someone said they didn't watch the Rams. Okay. They were talking about cups after the cash yards, longevity. Okay. It's interesting, the company that Cup is being compared to. It's interesting. S. Diamond FD, I understand buying and investing in goals, but there is also something to be said for being able to point out future goals. Yeah, pointing out future goals is where it's at. Because it can't just stop with who is the GOAT or who, and sometimes GOAT is a very loose term, and invested in before they blow up and get expensive. Yes, but the thing is when you label someone a future GOAT and you invest in them and then they don't blow up and then their car values actually decrease, then what then? I said on some I think someone's live recently is that I think that as a collectors we all have to be the GMs of our collection, right? We got to put our
Yeah.
general manager hats on. We got to be able to look at a player and say, does that player have long term potential? If you thinking long term, or do they have short term potential? If you're thinking a flip, like who is this player and what are they going to do? And do I want to invest dollars in them and their cars and the productivity of their cars later?
Yeah.
And that's
That's
on each
why.
one of us to do. And we all have different interests.
Yeah.
Erica and I and JP and I, we all three of us are here. We don't collect the same things.
No.
Um, but if you talk to us, you might see some similarities and some stuff that we're talking about and how we go about understanding what we want to invest in. And that's really what it's all about. But I agree with you totally, S. Donovan. You can't, it is the GOATs today and who are the GOATs tomorrow. We talked here about LaMelo. We talked about Ja. There was some talk here about some. I think someone was a big fan of Drummond. I've talked to several people who were big fans of Drummond and thought he never should play with the Lakers. So his style of play really doesn't match what's going on with the Lakers. He's playing better since he's moved on. So
Yeah. I just think that when you start talking about these future goats, I think we gotta uh, give them a little bit more time to kind of see and kind of develop. Because I think
mhm,
right now we slapping labels on people when they played a half NBA season and we start talking about they the real deal. It's
mhm.
like no, and FD can attest to this. It's two players that I used to talk about all the time, and I used to tell them, "You watch and see what these people gonna be." And I ain't even have to say the name. Who am I talking about, FD?
Who are these two people going to be? What sport?
The, these two ghosts that I used to talk about all the time used to be like, oh man, well, they got
Oh, oh, you used to tell me about Tom Brady,
hmm
and we're talking about 2003, 2004. JP used to tell me about Tom Brady, and I was really big on Peyton Manning. I thought Peyton Manning was the next coming of some things. And then I started realizing he's a good quarterback. He touched greatness, but he's still not Tom Brady. And then I'm trying to think of the second person. JP, remind me. I know Tom Brady is the first.
who
Curry. You started telling me
yeah,
about Curry. Curry came out 2009, probably by the end of 2010, 2011. JP started telling me about Curry, and I even said at the time, I got to see him play more. When he came out, I'm just going to say this: when he came out, and the way ball was, the games were being played back then, his him being so undersized, I was just so like, wow, what can this guy do? And JP just kept telling me, man, his jump shot is on the next level. He's going to change how people are playing the game. Just keep watching him. Just keep watching him. And I wasn't a big believer at the time. So that's why I tell people now that when I talk about stuff, I don't know everything. I go off certain things that I do see, and but that's why I like to talk to people and understand
yeah,
what they're thinking, because it just not just aids my investing, but it helps just overall understanding of what a market is going. When we go out and we film Rolling with FT, there's a lot of conversations that we have that are not recorded that we're talking to people just about the hobby. Like,
yeah,
I don't want anybody to think that we walk in, G and I, and we may talk about some cars and then we leave. No, we spend quite a bit of time doing what we're doing here today, talking to people about what do you think about this or what do you think about that. Um,
right,
I don't spend a lot of time in baseball because for me, baseball is like a longer term play. But there are some baseball players that need to be paid attention to. But I'm asking people like, what do you think about this player? What do you think about that player? I'm also sharing information. I'm letting people know what I think.
yeah,
That kind of conversation is what I'm really interested in when we actually go out and jump into a show or or we're at a signing event. Well, I'm in line. Like when we went to see Jose Canseco, I'm in line talking to people about all types of stuff, and I'm getting their ideas, and all ideas are valid because we're all speculating
Yeah,
on a future market, right? That's what we're
yeah,
all doing. So I can't say that I'm 100% correct. I can't say that Erica is 100% wrong. I can't say that Jack, I don't know about that play. Why you invest in that play? The conversation is what it's all about. That's what makes it a community, you know?
yeah, yeah. Most
Yeah, I
definitely.
remember this. The Mellow Base President was $400 raw at one point. I can remember when his silver out the pack was $1,500, I think, when it first came out.
Really?
Yeah, out the pack. Like you just
Oh, wow.
$1,500.
What?
And as a collector, that price is going to come down. But
Yeah.
so let me tell you this story. This is another funny story that I've shared with JP before. I remember there was a autograph signing here in LA. Kareem was 1 week, LaMelo Ball was the next week. And LaMelo Ball's autograph prices were much higher than Kareem's. And this was LaMelo Ball's rookie year. And when I saw video of LaMelo Ball, there were lines. Kareem, that was a very small line. Just something to be said for that.
Shake your head. You got somebody that won on the high school level, a college level, and a professional level, and had all great coaches. Who was a better college coach than John Wooden?
Nobody.
We got flea market mixtape. Believer and Wiseman playing the numbers. Wiseman is scheduled, I think, to be back on the court in February, maybe probably after All-Star break. We'll see. FD and JP and Erica, what are the things that you look at to determine what a player is going to be special? What are the intangibles?
You wanna start first, E, or
honestly, a lot of it is just like for me, I watch Steph Curry play at Davidson, and I'm like, every game on TV I watch, and I'm like, he's gonna be the greatest shooter of all time or close to it. KD at Texas, I'm like, he might be the greatest scorer of all time. Right out the gate, like at Texas, like it's like but I have a feel of it. I played ball, I understand ball, I love ball, but that's me personally. I just kind of go with my feelings on it, but so I that's one thing about when it comes to the hobby and all of that stuff like that. I'm just more based on how I feel and how I roll.
JP, what do you think?
Yeah, when I start looking at players, I start looking at them early. I definitely try to look at the skill set. Why did they choose that certain college, or why they choose that certain school? Was it just to play with other players, or was it the coaching staff? It's a lot of things that have to go in it for me to start to pay interest to that person. I remember looking at like the 5-5 and UNLV, them type of teams. All these great players come from different backgrounds and different things, but they were legendary players that played for great coaches. They bettered the program. Who can get better than that UNLV team that blew out Duke by 25 in the national championship? People forget about those teams, right? Or who think about the 5-5, the Muhammad Ali's of college basketball? They don't understand that they changed the game with the black socks and the long baggy shorts. See, people, you pay attention to certain things when it comes to the game, and those are things I look for.
Well, it's like today. To me, it's a simple equation. The 49ers just beat the Cowboys, right?
Mhm.
Does the Cowboys have? Yeah, right. Dak with the. We won't get into that. So, do the
I
Cowboys?
was yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say something. I agree. I totally agree with you. But the thing about it is that today and the last few years, is just everything you said. It just doesn't resonate with how these new guys are going about things. Like they don't. Most of them don't care who's the coach. They all want to team up together. They all want to do their own thing. Like they all don't want to play on a team. Like they want 20,000 trainers. Uh, everything you said. Yeah, that I totally agree with you. But now it's just so hard to actually like really see is this player going to be good? Like even like college, people talking about Jalen Suggs, but I don't know what he's been doing, But a guy like Cole Anthony, he's been balling. Like, so it's just kind
He's
of
been
like
balling.
you know, that's why I was just like I really just go off the field, like even especially right now. But what you said back in the day, I totally agree with you. Because we could break down like even somebody like Carmelo when he went to Oak Hill, or he went to Oak Hill, then he went to Syracuse. He went to play for Bayheim. Okay, like everything you said, yes,
Yeah.
for the guys back then. But now it's not like that, and it's not a lot of great coaches now either.
No.
It's not. It's just not. Sadly, it's
Eric,
not.
you're dropping gems right now.
It's just not like.
I hope people out here listening. She's dropping
Like
gems.
it's just not. It's just not. I'm like.
Let me just sit back because she is
No,
right on point.
No. Go ahead, E. I mean, FD. What was the point? What was the point that you gonna make?
Oh no, what she said was way better than what I was about to say. But the only thing I was going to say is that, like, you look at the Dallas Cowboys, right? Do they have a player on their offensive team that's as good as Deebo Samuel?
No.
You can name Amari Cooper. You could name Ezekiel Elliott. Who do you want to name? You can name whoever you want to.
CeeDee Lamb. Nope.
CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb. I think he sprained his ankle 5 times yesterday. Right. So when I'm sitting, I'm looking at the game. When I'm sitting, I'm looking at the game. Right. I see Deebo, this handling business. Right. He's at the slot receiver. He's outside. He's playing running back. He's blocking people.
Yeah.
So when I see that, when I'm watching that, I gotta say, who is this Deebo Samuel guy?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the lens test. That's the lens test.
Yeah. He's a problem.
He was number 1 in the NFL in receiving yards at one point. His coach asked him because of team need, because their starting running back got hurt. Can you go play running back for us? He said he started saying some stuff in practice on Deebo.
Yeah.
And Deebo said, "Yes, sir. Don't even worry about it."
Yeah.
This guy came from South Carolina. He didn't play running back in college.
No.
But the way he's hitting holes and running with the ball with intention to inflict pain on you when you come up to tackle him, it's just something I'm looking at.
Yeah.
Now, could his career be cut short because he plays that way? He plays a running back and wide receiver. Could be. But what if it's not?
Hall of Fame. He gonna put up.
He had 105 all-purpose yards yesterday and 1 touchdown.
Yeah.
While Ezekiel Elliott has not had a 100-yard rushing game in 13 straight games. But a lot of people were talking about Ezekiel Elliott when he first came out of Ohio State. And then let me tell you about me, right? Let me just eat, right? Let me just tell you about me, right? So when I saw Ezekiel Elliott in New Orleans kicking it, this is a true story. When I saw Ezekiel Elliott in New Orleans kicking it, I picked up the phone. I called JP and said, "That's a dude right there I would never invest in."
He did too. He did.
This is a true story. And since that incident, his game has went straight down.
Yeah, he is not joking. He is really not joking.
Just
But
like recently, we can talk about this. Woods for Houston had an incident where he got into it with an assistant coach. He ended up leaving the locker room, or leaving the game, leaving the locker room, I think going home or something. I called JP about that. Like, I don't know. It'd be hard for me to invest in Woods. Like, he has to show me something else. And a
yeah,
lot of this off the court. How do you handle yourself off the field? What are you doing? Those things matter. And there have been some people in headlines recently where that kind of stuff has mattered.
yeah, yeah. Likability, yeah,
Yep. I
definitely.
like this comment. I saw one drive of Justin Herbert in college and said, I want the Niners to draft him.
Exactly. Exactly. Sometimes it doesn't take much to know. If you know, you know.
That's right.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, yeah.
Hey, thoughts on Tyson Bet cars? Do they have any value? I think it's going to take some time. Me personally, I've looked at these cars and what they're selling for. You got some variations out there. You got some stuff for
Hmm.
Steph Curry out now that kind of broke Tyson Beck's website, and you have some
Yep.
other stuff out there. We'll see over time. What do you think, Erica and JP?
I have been following them. The cards are beautiful. I think they're probably
They are.
even more beautiful in hand. I'm not sure how the value is going to carry as far as people investing and caring about the value long term. I'm not quite sure about that, but just in general, they're just beautiful cards. But
Yeah, they really
it
are.
is amazing what they're selling for more than I thought they would. You know, but
Hey, it's not just me. Other people was like, yeah, Erica's coming with it.
Yeah, she is. She when she talked about Cole Anthony, that Faye put me on to him.
I love
I'm
me some
like,
Cole Anthony.
okay,
Yeah.
yep.
He has increased his points 5 or 6 points a game from his rookie year. His turnovers are low. I just looked at his turnovers the other day. They're quite low. A young point guard typically turns the ball over, so that's in check. He plays with a level of aggressiveness against big name players like Harden. He doesn't take the back seat to them. He's out there to play against them. Those are some things I can look for in a young point guard to be like, okay, all right.
but we got
I,
but we also got to look at who Cole Anthony's father is and
true.
what he did in the college game. When you start talking about point guards and handling their business, and even on a professional level, how he handled his business. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Mhm.
Flea Market said Mike Vick should talk to these young guys. He definitely had some opinions recently about some stuff that was going on in headlines. So, I don't know. Vic may already do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was a gym. Person's a Kittle. Talking about Kittle, a stud. He needs more touches.
Dex Flow.
Expo, I think that's true. It'd be interesting to see if Jimmy G is his quarterback in the future, or do they go with someone else? And then what does
Man,
Kittle do then? To be
I
all honest, Jimmy G almost handed the game to Dallas yesterday at least 3 times.
man, I'm telling you, they
At
are
least.
they are still so high on this Jimmy G guy, man. This dude, they not gonna let that dude go, man. I'm telling you, they gonna keep that dude around and keep riding him, and that's why they're not gonna go nowhere. A
Well, we'll
wasted
see.
talent.
Who's up there in the office making these decisions. So we'll see. 49ers. I don't think they're going to play games with not having a particular type of quarterback for a long period of time.
Mhm.
Well,
Because Lynch, man. Lynch is
oh yeah, oh yeah, Johnny Lynch,
yeah,
Hall of
Lynch.
Famer.
He's an
Yeah,
assessment of talent, so he can do that.
yeah.
And I said last year we are going to see guys start to play both sides of the ball soon. Maybe this is a start with Debo. He only plays offense, but just watch. I mean, don't forget Deion Sanders played wide receiver.
Oh yeah. But don't forget that my cousin had a teammate called Troy Brown that played both sides of the ball in New England.
Yeah, yeah. And Vrabel played both sides of the ball.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
so yeah. You gotta have a special and it just from playing at any level of a sport, you gotta have a special player who can think about the game that way and position that body in a certain way that way. Debo, but when he catches the ball as a receiver or he's running as a running back, when he gets the ball, he's the same person.
Yeah,
He's running to inflict pain. He's almost like a 80s, 90s throwback kind of player.
yeah,
He's putting his head down and coming into you on the tackle. He gets
he
up and
really
talks to you
is.
after you attempt to hit him. He's always
Yeah,
saying something.
there's
And
with
I
that
love when
guy.
he gets the first down and he does that first down move.
Yeah, there's no wasted movement with him.
No, it's all
You
about
know,
going forward. He's not playing
yeah,
games.
no,
This is a good list here. Colorado Sports 2, Vlad Jr., Acuna, Soto, Otani, Tatis, or someone else. You get to pick one for the next 10 or more years. Who is it? I pick Vlad, maybe because of the home runs, but so much talent, it's insane.
I like Soto though. He's a young dude that can definitely swing the bat, plays good. But these are all great players though. Tatis, that's
Yeah.
another dude. I mean, I can't knock none of these guys up here because they all can
I think if
handle
it
business.
was, I like all these players. I have cards of a lot of these players. I think if I had to pick one, I'm going with Ronald Acuna. Just long term, what he can do on the field, where's his game at. But you can't sleep on any of these people. Vlad Jr.,
No,
Soto, Otani. The only question with Otani to me is that you're going to pitch and hit, or you're going to do one or the other. And
right.
that's just speaking from an injury perspective.
Yeah.
And we got Mr. Timothy. Kareem doesn't get enough love. Dominated the game when the game was all about the big man. Played against Wilt, Russell, Unsell, Hayes.
Ooh,
When Moses Malone was in his prime, Jack Sigma, Robert
Jackson.
Parrish, Kevin McHale, Hakeem with no H, and Ewing.
And those are all great big men.
All great.
Yeah. You can't knock none of the people that he got up here though.
Yeah, same thing. Can't pick between those. Yeah. But you rather have Bernard King or Grant Hill? Erica, what
Ooh.
do you think about that?
I haven't seen much of Bernard King, but I've heard, I grew up hearing about the greats and just envisioning that. So I cannot answer because I don't know. I don't know.
He was a scoring machine.
Yes.
A scoring machine.
In the garden.
Who would you guys pick?
If I'm building a team, I gotta go with Grant Hill.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, but for me, when yeah, I can definitely say that because Grant is an all-around player.
Hmm.
But
Mhm.
with King, he offers so much too, though. When you think about it, like I said, a scoring machine. You get people are still gonna look at what areas did these guys play in, and I feel that both of these guys can play in any area. It wouldn't make a difference.
Oh, they could.
You know, they all. I mean, they all were universal when it came to basketball and their IQ and the knowledge of the game. So you couldn't knock them, and anyone you would be winning. I would say if you really had to look at it, uh, both can score the ball, both great passers. Uh, you know, Grant may have had a little bit more flair when it came to the game, but either one is a great choice.
Yeah, I agree with that. So, Colorado Sports News said Debo and Cup are both breaking out at about 26. Debo and 29. Cooper Cup. If they were doing that at 21, that would be easy, but difficult to believe they're Hall of Fame.
Now with Debo, it's not.
Yeah, I don't think it's difficult to believe they're Hall of Fame. But it's like anything, you got to do it over a period of time. You know,
Yeah,
you have to do it over a period of time. and then we're all speculating on who we think is going to do it. And then after so many years of putting in a body of work, it's like guaranteed that that person has crossed over into like Hall of Fame. Their name jumps on some top lists. If Debo can become a wide receiver, because he might go back to that and do what he was doing before he was asked to do something else, I just appreciate the team play. I appreciate someone being able to put more on their shoulders for their organization and showing up well yesterday versus Dallas. We're going to see he's going to have another test. That whole team's going to have another test against Green Bay. So we'll see what they do. FD, JP, and Erica, which one of these basketball card brands are the best investment wise? Prism, Optic, Select, Mosaic.
I think that's a great question. I think the hobby loves Prism. But I think something like Mosaic and certain Optic cards are probably good to invest in because you can get them at a lower cost. And Select, I'm not high on Select personally. It's just okay, but some of the Mosaic and the Optic cards, are really good, especially some of the inserts.
Yeah, definitely. I will agree. Very affordable.
Yep.
For what you're getting and what you're seeing.
Yep.
So I definitely would agree.
Yeah, it seems like people were on Prism. Prism got very expensive, and then they started saying, "Man, this card over here looks good as well. Let me go over here and look at that." And what you say? You said what did you say? You said what? 13,000. That's right.
Oh my Lord!
No, that was a great question though. But yeah,
great question, Don.
That was a great question.
Great question. Yeah, great question. Yep. Someone said, Flea Market said, Grant Hill. Crazy card deals. What's up? What's going on? It's good to see you here.
Hey.
Appreciate you being here. Yeah, so it'd be interesting to see what the Dallas Cowboys do with their organization. How much can they do from a financial perspective? I do not know. I know Dak Prescott, you've paid him. He's going to be your quarterback. Do you make moves on Ezekiel Elliott? I don't know. They have some strong players on defense. We talk about Michael Parsons and some of the other people that are over there. They have some strong players. So it'd be interesting to see. Even though yesterday they gave up a pretty good, decent amount of rushing yards, which I found interesting yesterday.
Yeah.
Quite interesting. Is there anything else that you all would like to talk about tonight?
I was going to ask, what are the next card shows you guys are planning on attending?
JP, have you been hitting shows where you're at?
Not with this stuff out here. Nope.
Yeah.
I'll watch y'all go.
Wow, that's not the answer I was expecting. You actually got me genuinely laughing right now. Yeah. Wow. Well, I know out here in LA, there's a card stock show that's coming up this weekend. There's also a I think premiere show that's coming. No, excuse me. Newport is coming up in 2 weeks. This and then Newport is also going to be with Premiere. They're going to have a Saturday show at Newport, Sunday show at Premiere. This weekend is the Card Stock Trading Show. It's going to be I think this weekend coming up, it's going to be a 2-day event. No, flop those. Newport's on the 22nd. Premiere's on the 23rd. Card Stock Trading Show is on the 29th and the 30th. And those are the dates. Those are the correct dates. There's also a Pasadena Comic-Con that's coming up soon as well, which will be interesting to see. What about your area, Erica? What you got going
on? The Philly card show, I think the next one is in March, so I'll definitely go to that one. I think I might go to the Atlanta show, Culture Collision. I want to support. I want to support those guys, what they're doing down there. So I think I probably do that. And I've been getting into like MetaZoo lately, so I may hit up like a TGC con show. But I've been having so much. I've been having so much fun with MetaZoo. But
Well, tell me more about TGC cons. I have
Oh yeah,
not
it's
heard.
like it's basically like Pokemon, those type of cards.
Like trading game. Trading game.
Yeah,
So.
and you can actually play the games too. I personally don't play the games, but with MetaZoo, I actually kind of want to learn how to play. And in Jersey is a card shop. They're going to have a tournament soon. So I said that'd be kind of cool for me and my daughter to go and like participate and do the tournament. Even though I don't know how far I'll get in the tournament, but I think it'll be a great experience. And also too, I noticed that I've been more gearing towards like the MetaZoo and the gaming community more because it's just different vibes than like the sports card. It's more the people who are in it, they actually really love the cards versus just looking at the card. I got this Steph Curry card or Michael Jordan card, and this is X amount of dollars. That's all it is to me. So I'm just kind of just trying to figure out my way with it. But the dollar shows I always consider going to. I may hit up one. Next one.
Did you go to the one Did you go to the one this past weekend?
No, I went to the one last year back in like May. I think I went to like the biggest one. Yeah, that one was pretty good. It was pretty good. But I'll definitely be at National in Atlantic City, since it's so close. But yeah. I really enjoy going to shows. I enjoy just looking through boxes, looking at cards, picking up cards. Yeah, I do.
Now, if you ever go to a LA, want to go, you're going out to a LA show or a Vegas show or a Phoenix show or a San Francisco show or something like that. I aspire to get to a Dallas show. Please let me know.
I definitely will.
It'd be great to walk a show with you.
I definitely will. Yep.
All right, I got a few more. Let's see here, a few more. Somebody asked that question, so I want to give an answer to that.
Oh, okay,
yeah. Reggie Miller. Yeah, Reggie and Ray really get no love. Yeah, Christian Laettner was on the Dream Team instead of Shaq. I always found that interesting. That's a true story.
Be coming with it.
Yeah, that's true. That's a true story. Christian Laettner was picked, and then the veterans on the team told him, "You will never play."
Yeah.
So he never played in the Olympics.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I do remember that.
All right. What about Marvel? Before we end this, what about Marvel cards? Marvel memorabilia. Erica, JP, are you all interested in any of that or looking to learn more about that?
Yes, I'm interested. I have been for quite a while. I just don't know where to start with it because hype is something I try to avoid, and it's just been a lot of hype surrounding Marvel for months now. But memorabilia, I'm into memorabilia as well too, but I don't know where to start sometimes because it's like a lot of this stuff is already inflated,
Yeah.
and you don't want to. And as a collector, you don't want to feel like you're getting burnt because like majority of this stuff that I purchase, I keep. Like getting rid of stuff like to sell. I'm like, oh my gosh, like I don't know, but
right, yeah. I know that feeling.
Yeah.
You start looking at boxes, you like, man, I remember when I was 15 when I got that. Yeah. How do you let that stuff go? I've had some people that I know ask me, FD, when are you gonna start selling stuff? I always say there will be a day. There will be a day.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm focused on adding to. I try to make moves if there is something to, like I sold some Carmelo stuff like that. If there's some stuff to move to try to make another move, better move with, I may think about that. But usually it's for some kind of enhancement to the overall PC.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely got to have the personal PC going on. That's the only reason why I collect and hold on to memorabilia. It's stuff you can look, 15, 20 years from now and be like, man, I remember when I got this and what did you had to do to make that type of move to make it happen. Just like you spoke on earlier about getting the Satu page and
Mm-hmm.
also, the Wilt, the legendary cards right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anybody that I know um, that is of our African American descent would definitely love to have a Satu Page or a Jackie Robinson in their collection. Who
Yep.
wouldn't? Or even if you think about it, a Josh Gibson.
Yep.
Who would not want that in their collection?
I
Yeah.
totally
I,
agree.
I was on the live earlier, and we were talking about Jack Johnson.
Oh
As
yeah.
Oh,
another
Oh
card, and
oh,
I was at, I think I was somewhere here in LA and saw it. Actually held and took a picture with a Jack Johnson card. I did
are
not
you
purchase
serious?
it, but those are, they're all collectors who think
mm,
about some of the greats of the game, and there's love for those players because they mean so
uh,
much. And Eric, I want to let
yes.
you know, if you ever see me anywhere, please come up, say hi. If I don't beat you to it and see you and say what's up, I appreciate you being a follower on YouTube. It means a lot. Any follower that I get, I'm never a person. If anybody like, you can probably talk to my family, I'm never the person that's like, I can remember when we had one follower, and I remember
Mm.
when I went to two, and we were all around here like jumping and excited. When we got to 100, I'm excited. Right now, today, wherever we're at, I'm just as excited. If you press the subscribe button and you start following, just know FD is seeing that. G is
Mm.
seeing that. G looks at data on the channel all the time. It's important to us. I don't want anybody to ever think. We work. I attempt to make sure, and I'm gonna put more time in this week on getting back to people on comments. So if I haven't replied to your comment, some I have. If I have not, it is coming. That's always important to me. We don't ever aspire to have a channel where people are hitting us up and you never hear from us at all. That's not the goal. There may be times that we get busy with something we're filming, but when we dedicate time each week to reach out. So it's important. I really appreciate Eric that you have subscribed. But Marvel, we'll see. I'm trying to learn more about things. I'm trying to learn more about Marvel, Pokemon, MetaZoo, what's going on with soccer,
Yeah.
more plays with NHL cards. It still
Mm-hmm.
blows my mind that you can go out and get a Wayne Gretzky autograph card for a reasonable price when you compare him
Yeah,
to other goats in other sports.
yeah.
It's not the same prices.
That's crazy. That's
Yeah,
That's
I
crazy.
crazy.
mean, very affordable, and it's Wayne Gretzky. You
Yeah.
can get some cards of him with some other great hockey players as well. That's still affordable. Um, so
Ooh,
we'll
that
see.
blows my mind.
Hey, Sydney, Mitch Richmond, G and I, we put it on Instagram. We were lucky enough and privileged enough to be out eating one day and bumped into Mitch Richmond in person and had a chance to talk to him. He was one of my favorite players when I was growing up and we were in college, and um, him playing all those years in Sacramento, finally getting a championship with Kobe and Shaq. Mitch Richmond was a great player.
He played down at a junior college school, was not far from where we went to school at, called Mobley Greyhounds. If anybody
Yeah, I remember. I
knows,
know Mobley. Yeah.
he also played for a legendary coach at Mobley in Cobb Fitzsimmons. If you did not know that,
Mm-hmm.
who coached the Phoenix Suns back in the day. So yeah, yeah.
Hey, Eric, thank you for the shout out again. Dexter will say, whose autos are cheap? Kevin Durant, and he might be the best player today. That's some truth. There's some truth to that. I did some recent
True.
research on Kevin Durant stuff. It's quite true.
I agree.
Quite true.
Text
Rodman
color.
and Penny Hardaway always sell overly well, even over a player like Akeem and Ewing. Well, Rodman rode with Jordan and then won for Jordan. He's
Yeah.
also a person that's always going to be relevant.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be relevant. Hakeem, his personality, and I'm not David Robinson, Hakeem, Tim Duncan. Their personalities are more relaxed, So and they're not big in the media and talking to people all the time and creating controversy. So you're not going to hear from them as much anymore. Penny Hardaway was kind of like people wondering where is Penny until he started coaching at Memphis. So that
Yeah.
brought him back to being relevant. He put a player out like Wiseman, and I think he
Wiseman.
has a few more in the funnel at Memphis right now. That those kind of things help you. It helps your collectability, and then some of his cards have been back in packs and autographs of Penny, so that kind of stuff helps. But like Ewing, he's a very quiet guy. I mean, right now, if he's
Yeah.
not coaching, he's very quiet. I did see a exquisite, I think a 2003 exquisite of his. Had a decent price on it. You had a patch, you had an autograph. It was graded, I think, a BGS 8.5. I still think that's a good investment. That was a time when John Stockton's cars are still undervalued to me. And there was a time when they were dirt cheap. Nobody
Yeah.
was talking about John Stockton. So these are players that you believe in.
Yep.
Invest in them. The market will say, at some point the market will say to Erica, those cars you invested in, those are great cars. They'll say to Jack, we're with you now, Jack. Those cars are great. They'll say
Yep.
to me, FD, we see those cars are great now. It could be whatever year.
Yep.
It will find you. I always say that lens of the hobby. At some
Yep.
point, it will find what you have in your collection because the market just may not be there. But it doesn't mean that those aren't good investments or,
Yep.
yeah. But Erica, I really appreciate you coming
Yes.
on, spending some time with
Yes.
us. You're a person I would love to have back in the future. Uh,
Definitely.
and if you ever do anything, if you do an Instagram live or
Mhm.
you do anything,
Yep.
JP and I, either both together or individually, would
Definitely.
love to be a part of something like that.
Yes.
Definitely.
It was
Yep.
definitely
Definitely.
great having you on and you dropping gems and knowledge
Just
of the
dropping.
game.
Yeah.
So yes, it's definitely been a pleasure. And definitely say hello to your daughter. Love your artwork in the back. You know.
Yeah, tell your daughter that we said hello.
I will.
Yeah.
Yep. Thank you guys. I really appreciate
You
it.
were one of the first people when we started talking about having guests on. You were the first name that came up.
Yep, sure was.
Yep.
Sure was. We
Thank you. Thank
definitely
you. I appreciate it.
we
I,
definitely had that conversation.
I
Mm-hmm.
appreciate it. I had a wonderful time talking to you guys. I definitely want to come back. Yeah, it was great. It was definitely great.
Cool.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
But to please let your friend know that these cars that she introduced to me tonight, they'll look up on because I'm always doing some. They still up, people. I'm always doing research. So
Yeah.
these mosaics, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. These
yeah,
bangs, okay.
yeah, yeah,
I appreciate
definitely.
that. But Erica, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here for MLK Day. I would like to appreciate everyone that's been here for this
Yep.
time together. It's been really special. I
Yes, it
appreciate
has.
Fucking Steve for allowing me to be on his live before this. It made this a special day to be able to
Yep.
get different viewpoints of the hobby in two different formats. Has been nothing but a blessing.
Yes, indeed.
All right.
Yep.
All right.
We'll
We
talk to
out.
everybody. Thank you for being here. If I didn't get to your questions, please come on next time, next Monday, 8 p.m. And we will definitely try to work to get to your question. And I think we're going to have another guest in maybe about 2 weeks or so. And look out too, if you stayed around to this, or if you see this on a replay when you watch the letter, JP and are planning some things for this Super Bowl. You may see something special.
Yes,
Don't
we are. It's
sleep.
in the works.
I'm not gonna say too much right now, but don't
Yep.
sleep on Super Bowl day. There's gonna be something coming.
Yeah, something gonna pop off.
Oh yeah. All right. Everybody have
All
a good
right.
night. Thank you, Erica. Thank you, JP.
All right, we out.
Talk to you later.